Since the inception of my channel back in 2017, I have always maintained that slow fashion is more of a mindset than something you can just check off a list. So today I've got 5 things that I think are important to add to our closets that have absolutely nothing to do with shopping or buying new things or adding new clothes to our closet. If you like the idea of slow fashion and want to learn more about it, I have a live digital workshop event coming up. It is a live Shop Your Closet event where we shop the closets of 2 really cool guests live and in real time. The theme this month is taking up space. So essentially, wearing our good stuff out. You know, maybe not like the ball gowns on a Tuesday, but understanding that it's okay to take up space with our clothes, with our personal style, and be confident about it. I will leave tickets and details in the description box below. I hope to see you there. Let's jump on into today's video. I've mentioned this before many times on the channel, but I think creativity is probably the most crucial part of using and loving what you already have and building a slow fashion mindset. Creativity is a muscle. It needs to be exercised and used often. It requires patience. It requires practice. We need to use it in order for it to get stronger and for us to get better at it. The thing is, I think there's this idea that creativity is only reserved for like artists or designers or like a certain type of person, but I disagree. I think creativity is for everybody and everybody can be creative. One way for you to cultivate creativity if you struggle with this is to try and introduce limitations into your closet. It seems counterintuitive, but I believe that our most ingenious ideas and some of the coolest outfits that I've ever put together were bred in the grounds of limitation, whether it was financial constraints or just like not having a lot of physical space for a lot of clothes. But I do believe in analysis paralysis, and I believe not having too much noise or too many options in your closet can actually be really beneficial. If you've got a big closet or a small closet, whatever, I would suggest trying to create a little capsule for a season or a little collection of clothes that you're going to use, maybe for a week, do it for a month, whatever you see fit, and just try working from that small collection and see how it goes. Something else you can do if that idea doesn't appeal to you is to do a little closet challenge. And it doesn't have to be like a big, crazy thing that you participate with a whole bunch of other people on Instagram. It can literally be as simple as you saying, okay, I'm gonna go without my go-tos for the week. I've talked about this several times. If you have been here for a while, you know I do this regularly. For me, for example, this kind of challenge would include not wearing denim for an entire week. Oh my God, just the thought alone makes me freak out a little. Actually, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it and we'll do a video about it. The second one is time. And I understand that time is a privilege and that we can't all benefit from having extra time to play with our clothes, to play dress up in our closets, to get things steamed. You know, whether you have a lot of it already or whether you have the financial means to pay someone to have more time to do things that you love doing, I do believe that the idea of free time, now it's like an endangered species. We like don't even know what it means to have free time. It is a privilege and I acknowledge that, but I do think there are ways to cultivate more time in your closet, whether you've only got an extra 2 minutes a day or you have a couple of hours on the weekend to dedicate to your own personal style and your closet. I've done an entire video on this. I will link it up here for you. But in the meantime, if you've only got 2 minutes, it can be as simple as hanging up your clothes and folding them properly at the end of the day, rather than leaving them on like the back of that chair that we all have in our bedroom. You know how it is. And it just becomes like a smorgasbord of clothes. So it can be that simple. Something else that's important to add to our closets is open-mindedness. This is a tough one, but I have my styling clients to thank for this. The most successful sessions with my clients are the ones where they are completely open-minded. They are willing to try anything that we decide to come up with, even if it's perhaps a color that they don't love or a silhouette that they're not used to or a combination that they're just like, no, this makes no sense. Open-mindedness is so crucial to cultivating a slow fashion closet and a slow fashion mindset. mindset because we are always evolving. That means our style evolves too. So sometimes a little bit of open-mindedness is what brings on that creativity, and it stops us from being so pigeonholed in things that we think we should be wearing. I know there are a lot of guides out there, and I think it's great if you do like the color analysis, or the Kibe system is great, but I also think it's really important to just stretch out of those comfort zones every once in a while and get used to experimentation using what we've already got. On the values and ethics side of things, slow fashion is incredibly nuanced. So I think when we apply this open-mindedness in our closets and in our clothes, it also allows us to just breathe and open up a little bit more when it comes to slow fashion concepts. With greenwashing being so rampant, and this idea now that is being marketed to us that sustainability and slow fashion is indeed something that you should be able to check off a list and only shop for, I don't think this is true at all. And being open-minded allows us to explore all purchasing options that are available to us. We can't all shop from certain brands. We don't all have the time to shop, for example, thrift or secondhand, because that is a more time-consuming thing. So just being open-minded to how we shop and how others move about the slow fashion space, I think is really important. This next one is really difficult. Self-compassion. I'm only just learning about self-compassion like this year, so I'm definitely not an expert. Maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I realize that not being so judgmental and hard on ourselves is another really crucial component that allows ourselves to make mistakes, allows ourselves to just love our bodies and love our personalities for who we are. Because once we start doing that, I think, again, it opens up our minds to being more creative with what we have, and it shifts our mindset from comparing ourselves to others all the time and focusing on what it is that we love about ourselves. And I think this can be incredibly powerful in a world that is, hell-bent on making us feel as though we are always judged, as though we should be judging ourselves. So being able to change the narrative and dress in a way that showcases our best, whether it's a personality trait, whether it's like a cool heirloom accessory that we want to show off, or part of our body that we really love, I think this can be a really great mindset shift that cultivates more self-confidence in how we dress ourselves. And that brings me to our last point, confidence. I've talked about this one many times before, and I know it is most likely the toughest thing to just add to our closets. It's not like we can go to our local thrift or consignment store and like pick it off a shelf, as much as I would love that. Again, I think when we reframe all of the narrative that is targeted at us, that is making us feel like we need to consume in order to be worthy, that we need to consume and buy this pair of shoes and this top and these jeans to make our butt look better or whatever, I think the less we play into that narrative, the more we find joy in what we already have. And I think this is a really impactful way to slow down our consumption, to increase our own personal style. Cultivating confidence is hard, but I think it's almost a combination of all of the other points that I mentioned in the video. So taking a little bit of time to take care of your clothes, employing self-compassion as often as you can, getting creative, even if it means just switching up, your basic necklaces or your basic t-shirts, being open to experimentation and being open-minded. I think all of these things can contribute to our confidence. And I also think that if you've got people in your corner who can, lift you up and kind of encourage these behaviors, that is the ultimate goal. So find yourself like a good group of friends maybe. Oh, this is a really good segue. You could join my new membership, which I have just launched. I'll leave all the details in the description box below for you. It is a monthly membership, and it's just everyone in this community who I think is just absolutely phenomenal. I think you are all amazing. It's just a great way to encourage each other if we are struggling with a lot of the more gray area of slow fashion. So if you're looking for that, it could be a way to just gel with like-minded individuals and like bounce ideas off of. We've got resources and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'll leave all the information for you down below, but I do think all of these things come easier when we've got like a solid crew around us to acknowledge all of this awesomeness. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching as always and for being here. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if you learned something new. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back with another slow fashion video. Ciao!